Once upon a time, there lived a little girl who was all alone in the world. When she was young, her parents died in a terrible fire. No one could ever figure out how the fire had come to be or why this little girl was the only one who managed to survive. Throughout the years, she had been passed from a strange family member to a strange family member, never being able to stay in one place for long. There was always an accident or a terrible circumstance that left her, once again, with nobody. When she was 13 years old, she was about to be moved once more, and this had been happening for so long she lost track of how many times she had been forced to leave. She couldn't take it anymore, so while everyone was waiting for the new, unlucky candidates to arrive, she made a run for it. She ran and ran as fast and as hard as her little legs would take her. Her last family had lived in a small village surrounded almost entirely by forests. But the people of the village would tell stories about the monsters and horrors that would await anyone who would be ill-fated enough to find themselves lost in the woods after dark. And just for luck, the sun had set just beyond the horizon. Her only other option was just as improbable. The only other exit of the village was a river, and being only 13, she had no idea how to control a boat, and the men of port would soon capture her and take her back to be traded around between her distant cousins. She made the only decision she could and chose the possibility of death over the life she didn't wish to have. Once she had crossed the border into the woods, she sighed in relief, but that relief was short-lived. Once her panting and her heavy breathing subsided, the sound of the forest started to reach her. When she would walk, she would hear a growl. When she looked left or right, she would hear the rustling of leaves or the breaking of branches. And no matter what she was doing, she could always feel these eyes staring straight at her. Suddenly, there was a loud crunch and everything went black.